Before we get into the craziness that we're about to see and that we witness along on this channel, I just want to say a big massive thank you to everyone who has subscribed to this channel, who has supported this channel, and who has been with me along this crazy journey of having to see wokey after wokey after wokey. And after a long time, approximately 100,000+ subscribers, we have finally got the YouTube plaque for hitting 100,000 subscribers. Even though it is the case that we are currently around 220,000 subscribers, I want to say a massive thank you to everyone out there for continuously supporting the channel and going along this crazy journey. As I usually say, I don't want to talk too much and I don't want to get too sentimental. We're going to get into the craziness and the laughs and the jokes and everything in between. But before we do, like the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, hit that bell, bang the bell, hit it as many times as possible. Everyone who watches this video, hit the notification bell so that you get notified when one of my videos come out. And let us get into the craziness.
Apparently during some conversations between yourself, apparently you have alleged, and we weren't here so I don't know you've said it, but you've alleged to say speak English or what's that effect?
Speak clearly.
Speak clearly.
No,
okay.
the gentleman's partially deaf.
Yeah, he can speak clearly.
Yeah.
So I couldn't even hear him.
No, and that's fine, and that's why we've just come to speak, because potentially someone could perceive that as a hate crime.
Did we just know this was going to happen?
No, I know.
People, you know, if someone says to me, officer, I believe this, then we need to look at it because someone's potentially reporting.
Yes, this is exactly what's happening in England right now, where you can't even tell someone to speak the native language of your country. It is considered a hate crime to tell someone to speak in English, please. If this doesn't show you that England is completely being taken over, I do not know what does.
I can't believe I was trafficked to this horrible country. I can't believe I was trafficked to this horrible country. I am not an American. I am not an American.
Crying on camera, check. BLM tattoo, check. Septum nose ring piercing, or as I call it, bull nose ring piercing, check. And hates the country that she lives in but doesn't move from that country, also check.
The other day I went to a restaurant with my girlfriend and my 4-year-old, and the server came up and said, "Hello, ladies," and proceeded to take our drink order. And as soon as the server left, my 4-year-old looked at me and just gasped and was like, "They called you a lady." She also corrected a family member the other day who she heard me and just went, "They, them, they, them, they, them," over and over again until they acknowledged her. All that to say, if my freshly 4-year-old can figure out pronouns, so can your shitty boomer parents. No more excuses.
I do not even believe these people anymore. They make up their own narratives in their brain. They make up their own gender, so there wouldn't be a surprise that they would make up scenarios in their head as well. Your 4-year-old definitely didn't come up to you surprised telling you how the person misgendered you. I can guarantee you that didn't happen. And if it is the case, a slight chance that it did happen, that's because of your brainwashing. There really shouldn't be any surprise there if it is the case that the 4-year-old did say that, because, you know, these same 4-year-olds believe that there's a fat man who flies across the world and fits down people's chimneys and somehow delivers presents to every children across the entire planet in one day. So there wouldn't also really be a surprise if it is the case that they did believe your nonsense.
Hi everyone, I wanted to thank Gender Spectrum for hosting me again this year on their annual webinar series. This year I talked about vaginoplasty and trans and non-binary youth, so I hope that this helps families and the patients themselves navigate through this very personal journey.
I really can't take this video serious. This person is clearly putting on a voice and it's just hilarious.
Here's what I find ironic about all this. It's very easy to fight back on trans issues. The science is on our side. Every credible medical organization has come out and endorsed gender affirming care and said that the trans military ban is ridiculous and unnecessary. They've said that trans women should be housed in women's prisons. I mean, these are all policies that make sense if you're willing to fight back.
The science is on your side. Right.
Hi, I just wanted to tell you that you can actually take up space without going to the moon. I thought that this morning was a perfect morning to remind you that I have a book coming out this year for teens and tweens called Take Up Space, y'all. And it is literally about taking up space. I was so inspired by Chicken Soup for the Teenage Soul, because that was my Bible when I was a kid. I mean, I loved it. I mean, we didn't have TikTok. We didn't have phones to scroll on. I learned so much from that book, and it has been a joy of mine to create this with myself and my co-author Kelly. And what we've done is so magical and so important. And I'm just so excited to have this exist in the world. So you can go to the link in my bio to pre-order your copy, and let me know in the comments where we should come on our book tour.
When I got thrust into the spotlight through social media, I didn't fully know what I was doing, and I was also extremely early on in my transition. And so I don't feel like I fully had the tools and resources to like advocate for the community. I still don't think of myself as an activist. And so I think I needed to make sure to take a step back, not share as much as I was online, to make sure that I was protecting the community. And now I think trans people are the most important piece of my life and the people in my life that I go to for advice. And I really find it so frustrating that there's so many people talking about us, but not including us in the conversations about our identities.
Yeah, the reason you didn't know what you were doing is because you can't actually change from being a man to a woman, so you were just cosplaying as what you believe to be a woman. That's essentially what he was saying in less words.
It is our duty to fight for our freedom! It is our duty to fight for our freedom! And it is our duty to win! And it is our duty to win! We must love and protect one another! We must love and protect one another! We have nothing to lose but our chains! We have nothing to lose but our chains! It is our duty to fight for our freedom! It is our duty to fight for our freedom! And it is our duty to win! And it is our duty to win! We must love and protect one another! We must love and protect one another! We have nothing to lose but our chains! We have nothing to lose but our chains! It is our duty!
These people protest day after day and don't even know what it is that they're talking about. They're a complete waste of space, to be honest.
My name's Abdul Shakur. I'm British. I've been Muslim for a week. Alhamdulillah.
My name's Abdul Rahim. I've been Muslim for 3 years. Alhamdulillah.
Hello, my name's James. I'm British and I'm Muslim for 6 months. Alhamdulillah.
My name's Abdullah. I've been Muslim for 10 years and I'm British. Alhamdulillah.
Right. Yeah, you'd be surprised to find out that this is in fact and indeed England.
It's a good time to be medicated. A good time. Good time!
You seriously cannot tell me that these people aren't crazy. They have the look down to a T, and not only do they have the look down to a T, but they have the actions of a crazy person down to a T.
They're like, oh, we respect Leah as a woman, as a trans woman, whatever, we respect her identity.
I don't respect you as a woman. You're a man.
We just don't think it's fair. You can't really have that sort of half support where you're like, oh, I respect you as a woman here, but not here.
Leah Thomas is actually right about this. We shouldn't lie to him over here and say he's a woman when he's not. And then over here in sports, tell him he can't play in the women's category. We should be consistent and just say, you're not a woman.
They're using the guise of feminism to sort of push transphobic beliefs.
No, we're just stating reality, and it's not transphobic to state reality.
And I think a lot of people in that camp sort of carry an implicit bias against trans people.
No, just bias towards the truth because the lie harms everyone.
But don't want to, I guess, fully manifest or speak that out. And so they try to just play it off as this sort of half support.
They think about how twisted feminism, quote unquote, feminism has become. Their arguments you know, in order to exclude anybody in the trans category, you have to reduce women to reproductive capacity.
No, it's not just about who can have a baby. It's about anatomical differences. Men typically have higher muscle mass, bone density, and testosterone levels, enhancing their strength. Men have larger hearts and lungs that support greater oxygen capacity, all of which gives them advantages in performance.
I don't want to put those women down.
Here comes the gaslighting.
Either, and I know you don't want to either, because I see pain. I see pain, and the pain is coming from somewhere.
You see pain, and you don't want to put women down, but you're fine with men taking their sports in spaces. Got it.
It's not you, though. It's the patriarchy. And how can we get people to see that?
So we're supposed to be afraid of this boogeyman called the patriarchy, but not be concerned about the men in dresses and putting on women face and then demanding women's sports in spaces. Okay, that's complete insanity.
Excuse me, are you vandalizing the Cybertruck?
Yeah, I am.
Can I join you?
Of course.
Okay.
Hey guys, I brought my baseball bat and I think destroying personal property is the way to fight fascism.
Hey, I go by they, them pronouns. Does anyone want to start a relationship with me?
Do you want to raise a child together and raise them to be trans?
Yes.
Okay, let's go.
That's adorable.
Hey, can I get a video of you guys destroying the Cybertruck for my Instagram?
Hello, I am a gay man looking to do stuff with someone.
Perfect.
Oh, that's amazing. Let's go.
Awesome, yeah.
Yay, yay. Let's have a childless relationship.
This right here is exactly what more than likely goes through the heads of these wokies when they're keying Tesla cars. They genuinely believe in their brains that they're doing an act of justice, and it's just hilarious to see the video made in a satire form to show their stupidity.
From being married for 12 years to getting separated and divorced. I wonder why you got a divorce.
I have a right to be here.
I understand. You forfeited that right. Are you refusing to leave? That's my question.
Sir, I have a right to be here.
I understand. You forfeited that right. So you are refusing to leave.
Sir, I have a right
listen
to
to
be
me.
here.
I understand. At this time, myself and my officers are going to escort you out of the building.
I am not resisting.
Okay.
I am not participating. I am in no way resisting. I am not participating. I am in no way resisting. I am not participating. I am practicing my rights as a parent. I am in no way resisting. I do not pose a threat to anyone. And I am in no way resisting. I am not resisting. And this is what fascists do.
At school, their own sense of self and self-worth is developed at school. If we stop policies and programs that make those spaces inclusive and safe for everyone, we know what happens.
She doesn't understand why she had to be removed after the short exchange. The district's chief communications officer said the recorded meeting would be available tomorrow.
I have a right to be here.
I understand. You forfeited that right. Are you refusing to leave? That's my question.
Sir, I have a right to be here.
I understand. You forfeited that right. So you are refusing to leave.
Sir, I have a right
So listen
to
to
be
me.
here.
I understand. At this time, myself and my officers are going to escort you out of the building.
Yeah, nobody is believing your nonsense anymore, and I'm surprised that the police officers were able to lift you just by looking at you.
You'll have to wait.
Yes, this is the craziness that we're dealing with in society today.
Today, I'm not going to talk about fairness, although it's certainly true that allowing men to compete in women's sports is deeply unfair. And I'm not going to talk about safety, although it's certainly true that allowing men into female sports teams and into their bathrooms is incredibly unsafe. I'll let others highlight those important points. want to talk about something even more important and even more basic. It's the most basic thing of all. It's truth. You must keep men out of women's sports and out of their facilities for the simple reason that they are men. Men are not women. A man who claims he is a woman is still not a woman. So why shouldn't men play in women's sports? Because they aren't women. It isn't true. We should not allow men into women's sports for the same reason we shouldn't go around claiming that 2 + 2 = 7. It's just not true. It is a lie. The man who identifies as a woman is either deluded and confused, or he is a cross-dressing fetishist looking to play out his fantasies in public. In either case, the claim that he's making, the claim to womanhood, is not true. And compelling women to take part in this untruth is evil, perverse, and predatory. If you would use the force of law to compel young girls to use a changing room with a boy, you are yourselves predators. Transgenderism is a lie. It is, in fact, the most deranged lie that mankind has ever invented. In a free country, nobody should ever be forced to participate in a lie. As lawmakers, you have an obligation to the truth. It is a truth that I know you all recognize because every human who has ever lived on earth recognizes it, that men are men and women are women. It is that simple. And the question before you is just as simple. The question is this: will you side with the truth, a truth so basic that every toddler understands it, or will you disgrace yourselves by denying it? That is your choice to make.